Welcome to the Texas Go Radio Show. I'm your host, Beartaria. This is part 2 of the 1861 live stream by Owen Benjamin titled, Choose Your God.
Could it be that there's a reason that there's a Bible in every fucking courtroom, right? Like, part of the game of this life, of this system, is figuring out the rules, right?
What do you say?
Because that ruins the game. Could it be that there's a reason that there's a Bible in every fucking courtroom, right? Like, part of the game of this life, of this system, is figuring out the rules, right? And part of it, and you can't skip steps. You can't just like tell people, like I can't just tell my 7-year-old, you know, it's like all the answers.
Okay, so just to break down what's going on right now. This is not a live stream right now. This is him having a live stream and then playing a video that he has recorded previously. So all of his dedicated followers have already seen this. So they're sitting through this again. So it's repetitive. Knowing the system, knowing the roles, repeating something. It's so repetitive. 6 months of me analyzing, looking at, watching this dude do his thing for 6 months, going through the back catalog and watching him in real time. So repetitive, so disgusting, so manipulative, so predatorial.
To life, because it wouldn't even be appropriate. It would be like, well, not that I know all the answers to life, but you know what I mean? Like if I'm just like telling him what to do with his life to avoid all the suffering, right? That would be bad parenting. So what you always want to do is ask questions to get people to get there themselves, you know? And my questions and my hyperbole, my gross exaggeration.
And this is one of the things that he does. He uses nuggets of truth, little pieces of truth, and then wraps it around his own idiocracy, his own philosophy, his own religion. Because he has his own religion, and he is the bee's knees in that religion. He is the cult leader, Owen Benjamin. There's a reason why I say that, because he has said that. This is a guy, and I quote, who said, whenever I give the nod, K-I-L-L everybody. That's a direct quote from Owen Benjamin, the comedian. Owen Benjamin, the cult leader. So whenever you're hearing him say, because there is certain truths, layers of truth, what he's saying right now. But it's all for one purpose and one reason and one reason only. And it's to benefit him.
Serve that function. It's not because I'm mean or because I like to see people in pain. In fact, I don't want to see people in pain. Like it actually bothers me. It actually, like, that's a problem. Like I shouldn't be like that. Where it's like I see people,
and that's a problem. I shouldn't be like that. Are you listening to what he said? It doesn't make any sense whenever you actually listen to what he's saying. He started this off, or at least brought it up. Have you ever wondered why there's a Bible in every courtroom? And then this is what he's talking about. And then he says, it actually bothers me whenever I see people in pain. But I shouldn't be that way. What are you talking about, dude? That doesn't make any sense, man. You brought up the Bible. Why? Because that's a talking point that makes people's ears perk up. Because a lot of his listeners, they're doing something else. They're because he doesn't pay for he doesn't get up every day and work with his hands in order to earn money. He relies on his cult members to do that. And so there's hardworking people that listen to him, and they only catch part of it. That's one of the reasons why he says like as many times as he does. It's to make you not want to listen to him. But then whenever he says something, oh, there's a Bible. Oh, Bible. He said something about the Bible. So that's good. But then he says something that is contradictory to what the Bible tells you, which is, hey, I feel bad that I see people in pain, and I shouldn't be that way. The Bible doesn't teach you not to be that way. That's his own personal religion. That's his own philosophy. That's his own Owen Benjamin religion right there.
Government. I'm like, could it be that there's ways around it? Like, and you have to do it yourself? And then once you free yourself of it, they don't bother you at all? Could it be? You're not allowed to teach people shit. Like, you're not allowed to just directly tell people things that they have to come to on their own conclusions. But
So what this sounds like is, hey, you know how whenever I'm talking and it doesn't make any sense? Well, the reason why is because I just can't be clear with you. So you have to stick around and pay me and all that kind of stuff, just because I'm not smart enough to articulate it in a straight and narrow type of way. Less than 7 minutes in, and I'm over this, dude. This is so stupid.
this world is fair. Because one of my friends was just like, but the government...
What?
You're not allowed to teach people shit. Like, you're not allowed to just directly tell people things that they have to come to on their own conclusions. But this world is fair. Because one of my friends was just...
This world is not fair. Anyone who has ever lived a life, anyone who has ever seen anything outside of your own echo chamber knows that this world is not fair. This world is not just. It isn't. That's why bad things happen to good people. That's why certain things don't make any sense. This is bizarre. This is extremely bizarre so far. Less than 7 minutes in, 6 minutes and 39 seconds. This world is fair. One of the reasons why he says stupid stuff like that I don't think he even believes is it's a manipulative tactic. Because if you agree, or even you have to accept that. You notice how I paused it and was like, what? The conversation. I'm talking, right? As though I am talking to him. I know that's kind of crazy, but the people that are just listening, they know that they can't just say something. And so right there in that moment, they have to, because you'll be blocked or at least they used to block people for asking questions or whatever. No, you have to fall in line. But just not saying anything, you're accepting it a little bit. And so if you say so many things that are, for the lack of a better word, batshit insane. Sometimes there's not a better word. I'm not a prude. It's not that I don't cuss. I don't appreciate cussing as much as the next person probably. And then sometimes I do. And it really just depends on the audience. But and whenever I say audience, I'm not talking about people in a crowd. I'm talking about whoever you're talking to. But there's a reason why he says stuff like that does not make any sense, that the majority of everyone would disagree with. It's those little moments that just add up. It's an abusive relationship. Predatorial behavior. You get people to either agree or be silent through ridiculous stuff like that, and then eventually they'll agree with something that is not as minute as just listening to somebody speak.
Like, but the government worships Moloch. Oh, he's a good guy. I'm not going to give him a negative voice. He actually gave me some really good advice. That's one reason why I'm trying to be nice right now. He's like, yeah, but the government worships Moloch. I'm like, yeah, most people do. And they need to be governed by Moloch until they choose not to, by Mammon. Think of how many people want to be like Andrew Tate or like...
Oh my goodness. Oh my, this is, okay. He has this video entitled Choose Your God. And then he's telling everybody, he's saying things, most people do worship Moloch, and they should be, is what he just said. Lord, glory to God, protect my spirit. No. It is not our duty to name the God that other people worship or that other people are slave to. That's not our duty. And what he's doing right now is he's attempting. This is Luciferian if I've ever seen it, as clear as I've ever seen it from him. This is him, in my opinion, clearly trying to give power to another god.
Are totally fine with porn and abortion and usury and all this stuff. That's Moloch. And if you choose to be governed by Moloch, that's Moloch. Why would you interfere with that? Like, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to get in between Moloch and his slaves. And that's painful. And I want more people to see the way through it. It's like, if you are for these horrible, sinful things, your God is Moloch. Your God is Mammon. And someone like me or someone else has no right to get in between you and your God. Okay? No matter what I say, like we don't have the right to it.
Okay, so there's some truth to what he's saying. That's one of my biggest problems with Owen, is that he almost always tends to have something agreeable, unless it's just him being him. Whenever he's upset and he's like, F you and the Lord, blah, blah, blah. I'm a funny guy. Like whenever he's pissed off and he doesn't have his helmet of, because it's not a helmet of salvation, that's for sure. His helmet of anger or envy or hatred or whatever it is, whenever he is spewing venom. That's one of his truest forms. But the majority of the time, he's always got some kind of, and if you know anything about cults, that's what they do. The cult leader, usually a charismatic person, and they usually always base their truth on some form of universal truth. And so even though the last couple of seconds of him talking sounds right, it's because there is some truth to it. But I haven't seen this video, so I don't know where he's going with it, but I almost am 100% confident that you'll see the writing on the wall if you listen to what he's saying.
Whatever this place is, and the rules that are set here, if someone makes a choice that they are in favor of these things, bang, 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 your God is Moloch, and you will be governed by Moloch. If you choose a higher path, and although you can struggle with stuff, it's like, who the hell doesn't want to blame all evil on Epstein and squirt the day away, right? Like that's an easier path. It's a wider path. To actually try and live up to the supreme God and have the supreme actual God be your God, you can't consent to those things, or else he doesn't have jurisdiction over you. It's been, what's it called when they...
So he just put limitations on God, if that's the God. He's not naming a God. He's just saying there's this God and then there's this other God that I'm going to... He mentioned the Bible. He mentioned Jesus. But not in one time did he actually give praise or worship or anything to... The only quote-unquote God that he's given power to so far is Moloch. If you listen to what he's saying. Listen to the words. The only God that he has given power to, authority to, is Moloch. That's it.
Hire somebody when the government hires somebody, not a consultant, a contractor. Moloch is a contractor.
Okay, and so now he's reading the chat and he's kind of downplaying Moloch. Moloch's a contractor. Very problematic. Extremely problematic. Verbiage and behavior. I can just imagine being somebody. Because I used to listen to this dude. I never listened to him every single day. Whenever I watched him, it was on YouTube. It was drinking beers on the patio. He was playing songs and whatnot. It wasn't this, but just, it wasn't difficult for me to stop doing these videos. That's for sure.
Lock it in, man. And it's like, if you ascribe to low things and you consent to low sinful things that hurt your fellow man, your God is your creator is not Moloch, but you are living as if your God is Moloch. So why wouldn't the government govern you? If you want to get around all of this stuff, could it be that it's your choices in your life, what you consent to versus what you condemn?
This is so much convoluted horse hockey, it's insane. Less than 10 minutes in, and glory to God. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Oh my. Such convoluted horse hockey that he's talking right now. It's insane. And if you actually, like, if you're listening with the intent of understanding, he hasn't said anything yet. He has not said anything. Really, he has not made a point. 10 minutes in, not made a point. He'll ask a question, go to something else. Hey, have you ever wondered why there's Bibles in all of the courtrooms? And then he's talking about Moloch. Saying it almost sounds as though if you actually let the government, because he started off by saying nobody needs to overthrow the government, but then he is saying that the government worships Moloch, and so it makes sense that you should listen to the government because your God is Moloch and their God is Moloch. This is so strange, man. I remember why this was so fun and I don't want to say easy, but I feel endorphins going off in my brain right now because it's just like, what? What? It's like you're on the subway and you're overhearing a conversation and you just cannot help yourself. What are you talking about? What's up, man? What are you saying? This is so bizarre.
And allow Moloch to govern his slaves to choose that? Or else you run into the mythology of Cassandra. Cassandra could see the future, but couldn't change anyone's mind and lived a miserable existence. My mom used to call me Cassandra. That's really gay. I got to pay that gay away. It's a woman's name. Can't believe.
Oh my. Wow.
I just admitted that. But it's like you can tell people.
Okay, so this is one of the things that whenever you were in school, I think this is universal. We've all been around somebody who always just says the most random, asinine, ridiculous, so not true things just to be like, hey guys, include me. That's him. That's one of the reasons I feel bad for him at certain points. I pity him at certain points. One of the reasons why it's such an interesting case. It's a case study, really, in what the human psychological condition is capable of. But what he just did, this is, and mind you, this is a guy who has been on the internet every day for at least the last, since almost every day since 2017, 2016, that I'm aware of. Drunken rants of honesty, quote unquote. And yet there's still moments of him saying, oh, yeah, my mom used to. It's crazy that I've never mentioned that.
Like what's coming? Like 7 years ago, I was telling everyone what was coming out of LA, the child trans stuff, the hormone blockers, blah, blah, blah. And people just wouldn't listen. They condemned me, pretended I was crazy. And you're like, no, I
see, and that's one of the reasons why it honestly upsets me whenever people are like, no, he's so honest and he's so true and blah blah blah. He just regurgitates what other people says, and he makes his own life a reflection of the lies that he says. Because what he just said, he very well could have said, the truth, which was, whenever I was in Hollywood, I stopped getting as many jobs as because they were given, in his own words, before he realized that he needed this. In his own words, he said they were given comedian jobs to Instagram models. And so I have to focus on my family. I'm going to move up north, whatever. But then he realized, hey, there's a lot of money in this, in lying. And I thought that it was a universal truth that most people agreed with. If somebody says that they're not a liar, that's a big red flag that they are. And yet there's people that just accept the horse hockey that comes out of this guy's mouth. He never. The only time he ever got close to doing what he is claiming to do right now is whenever he was on Joe Rogan talking about it. And Joe Rogan himself agreed with him, which makes him a liar in itself because he said nobody agreed with me. Nobody. Everybody just left, like they let me, they left me out to hang or left me out to dry, whatever that saying is. It's just constant lies, constant embellishments, constant manipulation of truth. If you've ever been or looked into abusive relationships, any kind of predatory behavior, he checks all of the boxes.
No, this is what's coming. Like, I'm warning you. And then 5 years, 6 years later, they're like, who could have seen it? I mean, oh, Jesus. Same with the vaccine, same with all that stuff. And I know a lot of you guys relate to me. I'm not the only one. I'm not a prophet. I just can see these things.
He has claimed to be a prophet multiple times, and it's almost a double, what is it, a backhanded compliment. I don't know what that is. Whenever humble bragging, pretty much. I predict the future, guys, but I'm not a prophet. One of the reasons why he says certain things is it is because he knows what other people are going to say. And so if he says it, then it kind of takes power out of what other people are going to say, because he's literally calling himself a prophet while saying, I'm not a prophet. I was calling this, that's what a prophet does. Prophesies. Tells you what the future's going to, what the future's going to bring. And he just said that that's what he did, but then he says, I'm not a prophet.
You know? And so I'm telling you right now, could it be that the government is absolutely not oppressing you in any way? And if you want to get out from under the boot, you have to choose to not put a boot on your own neck from your own allegiance, your own morality. It's your choice. That's why the Quran and the Bible.
Okay, so I'm going to stop him right there. We're hitting 20 minutes. It's because there's truth to what he's saying, but it's done in such a gross and disgusting way. Could it be that the government's not oppressing you at all, and that if you want to be out from under the boot, then you have to take the boot that you've put on your own neck off or whatever? I mean, the easiest cop-out from what he's saying is blame the victim much. And the only reason why I would even say that in this scenario is because he is a predator. He is a predator. He is a predator. He is a dangerous, predatorial cult leader, in my opinion. And I'm in my full right to have that opinion. And so for him to paint a picture to where, hey guys, if anything's bad happening to you, it's probably your fault. That's not a bad statement, because a whole lot of people, they are the reason for the situation that they're in. That's true. That's been true for me over and over again, just like it's been true for everybody else that's ever learned a lesson. It's your fault, not their fault. But it really depends on the mouthpiece, the faucet that truth is coming out of. This is the Texas Go Radio Show, and I'm your host, Beartaria. As always, till next time.